Hi, and welcome to Play It Loud. This episode concerns the best live albums. I just caught up with a classic albums review on YouTube, which was titled The 10 Best Live Albums, and it's interesting. I'm about to say, but I severely disagreed with it, and that's not entirely true, because there's a couple of albums there that I'd give a definite thumbs up to, but over the 10, no, sorry, not going there. So let's just, from where I'm coming from, let's just correct this. We'll start with the ones that I would largely agree with, but we'll go there. This featured the Who's Live at Leeds, and it's famous, and I think the double version that's got Tommy and the second album is probably better than the original single album, and it's a good live album, great recording, Leeds University, relatively small audience, great fun. Have the Who done better live albums? Oh yes, they have. I'd say a significant number of better Who live albums. Let's not go there or we'll be going on all day. It's a good album, but there you go. Right, another one that he featured, and this comes up on so many people's lists. The Grateful Dead live album from, I think, 69. And I've had it on tape originally, but I've had this for a very long time. I am, a deadhead. So I've got hundreds of Grateful Dead live albums, and that's not the best. If you want to pick one, pick that one. The Skull and Crossbones album. It's what have we got here on the inside? I'll tell you the rough. Bertha, Mama Tried, Big Railroad Blues, Playing in the Band, a whole side of the other one. Me and My Uncle, Big Boss Man, Me and Bobby McGee, Johnny Be Good, Wharf Rat, Not Fade Away, Going Down the Road, Feeling Bad. A classic Grateful Dead early concert. Better recorded, better sound, in my humble opinion, much better track listing. Okay, this is the one that really got my goat. Rolling Stones, Get Your Yah-Yahs Out. Again, a lot of people appear to gravitate towards this and say it's a great Rolling Stones live album. Well, in my opinion, it's not. Midnight Rambler goes on far too long. You can't hear all of the lead guitaring that well because it wasn't the greatest recording. As I recall, and sadly I was around at the time, the album was put out because there'd been a couple of bootleg albums that had come out, and in those days bootlegs you brought off of market stalls, for instance, and there was no other way of getting live albums, and they were selling by the truckload. So the Stones management decided they needed a live album quickly. Get Your Yah-Yahs Out was the result. It's okay. Not a patch on this, okay? The old Mocumbo 1977 live albums, because this is, I think, a 4 album, but it's also on CD and it's well streamable. I'm not going to go through the track listing. It's a much, much better live album. Again, better track listing, better recorded, superb Rolling Stones live albums, and I've got a few I could pick up in the back there because I've tended to collect them, and most of them are really interesting. There's one from the Marquee Club with Mick Taylor when he just joined, when I think they're doing largely the bitch era of the Rolling Stones, and it's great fun. But no, you want a live Rolling Stone album? Stick with that one. Okay, this one, I'm going to agree with this. So, Allman Brothers at the Fillmore. Absolutely brilliant. Statesman Blues, Hotlanta, In Memory of Elizabeth Lee, Whipping Post. This is a brilliant live album, double album, and is perhaps the only one that I would agree to have in a top 10 list always. So if they're not my top 10, what are? I've said before, and I'm going to say it again, Little Feat's Waiting for Columbus is the best rock live album that's ever been released. I love this album. Fabulous recording, brilliant songs, the atmosphere. I'm not going to persuade you to buy it. It hasn't sold that well. There's a few of us think that it's absolutely essential. We're in the minority. I get that. But Little Feat Waiting for Columbus, brilliant. This one would definitely be on my list, but I accept that I'm going out on a limb a bit here. Joe Bonamassa, Muddy Wolf at Red Rocks. It's actually Muddy Wolf and Muddy Wolf. It's Howling Wolf and Muddy Waters cover tracks. I'm not going to go through the full thing, but on Muddies you've got Tiger in Your Tank, I Can't Be Satisfied, You Shook Me, My Home is a Delta. On the Wolf you've got How Many More Years, Shake Me, Spoonful, Killing Floor. This is a wonderful, wonderful live double album. Again, brilliantly recorded, fabulous musicianship. Bonamassa and his band are outstanding. I'd say sadly, but it's worth pointing out, this man has released dozens and dozens of albums. He's up there with the Grateful Dead, and Neil Young seems to bring one out every couple of weeks, and that can put people off. If you don't know Joe Bonamassa, buy that one. Bonamassa, Muddy Wolf at Red Rocks. Okay, getting towards my end anyway. The Doobie Brothers farewell tour. Fortunately, not their farewell tour. I think, again, those of you who have watched any of my videos, I did finally manage to get some reasonably cheap tickets for the Doobie Brothers at the O2 last year. They're still touring, and most of the originals, fabulous band. They've been doing it a long time, but they've been doing it a long time here as well, so they were absolutely on the case. I've said before, but when a band have been playing together for a while and they're still in their groove, they're not doing it frankly night after night and getting bored, you can hear, yes you can, you can hear how much they love doing what they're doing. This is not a greatest hits, and let's just go through briefly. Taking It to the Streets, Jesus Is Just Alright, Minute by Minute, Listen to the Music, Echoes of Love, What a Fool Believes, fabulous live, Blackwater, You Belong to Me, South City Midnight Lady, Long Train Running in China Grove, and I've missed a few off of there because this video would go on far too long if I didn't, but this is very, very well recorded and it's a great live album. Okay, where are we up to? I think I've got 4 more, so I'd better slow down a little bit. The Eagles, Hell Freezes Over. I'm not going to go on about this. Recently talked about an Eagles One of These Nights CD. This is a great recording. This one turns up at all the audiophile exhibitions. It's the one that hits the turntable because people want to show off their kit. But you know the songs, not going to go through them. It's beautifully played, beautifully put together, probably enhanced in the studio in a few places. It is an Eagles greatest hits, and it's very, very good. Had to be in the top 10. You couldn't leave it out. Jefferson Aeroplane, Bless Its Pointed Little Head. Again, live at the Fillmore East. Don't you wish you'd have lived just around the corner from the Fillmore East or West back in the late 60s, early 70s? I do. Okay. There's not much I can say about this, so not the best recorded live album ever. Not a greatest hits. I don't know if you'll know many of these tracks, if any of them. Right, let's go through it. Clergy, 3/5 of a mile in 10 seconds. You probably know Somebody to Love, or you might do. Fat Angel, Rock Me Baby. Second side, The Other Side of Life, It's No Secret. Plastic Fantastic Lover, my favourite track on the album. And Turn Out the Lights and Bear Milk. So not a greatest hits, and when this came out they could have done a live greatest hits and probably sold an awful lot more. There you go, great album. How did this one not get onto the original classic albums set? Leonard Skinner, One More for the Road. Fabulous rock band, famous rock band, and yeah, a greatest hits, isn't it? Certainly everything you would expect to find on a Leonard Skinner double album. Again, great recording, fabulous musicianship, up there with the best. And I'm going to stop now, well, with one to go, because if I don't, come on. Van Morrison, the, what's it even called? I don't know what it's called. I can't remember. Too late to stop now. This is the latest version because it's been re-released a couple of times. I don't think there's anything that I can add to this that hasn't been said 1,000 times before. This is Van Morrison in his early days, on top of his game. Wonderful backing musicians, and I say musicians because you've got string players here. This isn't a rock band. And at the time, and it's very early in his career, it's got some of the best things that he did, but it also got Here Comes the Night and Gloria from them. It's a truly brilliant live album. Yeah, brilliant. So that's my take. I haven't counted them, probably more than 10 there, but there's only a couple, I say, that the Allman Brothers, I would agree with the classic albums, man. The others, if you haven't got them, you've got to hear them. These are classic live albums, absolutely superb. Stream them, play them, buy them, play them loud, please, and subscribe if you haven't already. I'd be very grateful. Till next time, this is Andy saying goodbye. Thanks.